Morning, everybody. Actually, it's not totally morning. Oh my gosh, my hair is a mess. Sorry about that. If you guys are coming here, sorry about the messy hair and the scruffy beard. I'm just really messy right now. How's everybody doing today? How are you? Maybe I should put my hat back on. Ali Mercado is here. What's going on? Sanderson GB is here. Who else do we have coming in to this morning dose? I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Happy getting a new phone. Awesome online. Last.com. That's great. Not messy. No, are you sure? It's not too bad? It's not too bad, but can you guys hear me okay? Put it one in the chat. Well, obviously you can hear me if you heard me say it was messy. So, what's up, Case? What's going on, Jamil? How's it going, you guys? How are you? How do I do hearts? You can click on the screen. That's how you can send some hearts, so you know, right? Okay? Yeah, that's how you do it. Hey, Alicia, what's happening? How's it going, you guys? It was good to see all of the familiar faces that are here on this daily scope. It's a morning scope. I'm going to be doing another one pretty soon on Facebook ads because I'm going to be creating a Facebook ad pretty soon here. But thank you so much for the why aren't you at work? I am at work at my desk. I'm right now at my desk, which is a standing desk. I am going to be working here, but I wanted to talk to you guys today about something. Thank you, Candy, so much. Love your scopes. Hi, Paul from the UK. Yeah, who's here? Tell me where you're from and what your name is. I'd love to know. Mobile, Alabama. Candy, awesome, you guys. Thank you. So if this is your first time here, do me a favor. Adam from Houston, put this in the chat. Okay, if this is your first time here, put if you're first time here, put teach. If this is your first time here, and if you've been here before, put learning, okay? That's kind of what I say. I say put teach if you're your first time here, put learning if you've been here before. Learn, teach, okay, so we have some new folks, we have some good folks who've been here before, awesome. And thank you guys to all the new folks who are coming in. So my name is Casey Zeman. I do Periscopes on building a business and brand that you love. I also do these daily scopes all about inspiration sometimes. Learning Mission, Texas, teach hi from Mississippi. Awesome. So great. So learning, cool. So this scope is going to be primarily South Africa. Titch the Great. Oh, I love that. Titch the Great. Is it Titch the Great? I think that's what it is. So welcome, you guys. It's great to have everybody here, and thank you so much for the hearts. Some of you guys have been coming to my Periscopes. You know we have a heart contest going on right now for Easy Webinar, the software that I'm the founder of. So thank you for the hearts. Now, I'm going to do a Periscope pretty soon here on a Facebook ad thing. I'm going to be creating a Facebook ad because I'm promoting a friend of mine who creates awesome online courses. Next week, I'm going to do a webinar with him. I want to build an online coffee business. That's awesome. I love it. Well, follow my Periscopes. We talk about stuff like that all the time. Use GoToTraining for webinars, checking out Easy Webinar. Thank you, Candy, so much. Yeah, Easy Webinar can do both live and automated webinars. So, I wanted to take some time, just a quick dose right now, to take a little moment to talk to you about a concept that I was thinking about. Normally, I go on walks every morning with my dog, and whoa, sorry. You guys still there? Sorry about that. I literally almost pulled the mic out. Sorry about that. So, as I was saying, is this still on? Okay, cool. Okay. Normally, I go on morning walks with my dog. I go get my kombucha, and I get my cold brew coffee right here. Sorry, I'm shaking the table here. And while I'm going on these walks, I kind of think, right? Thank you, Easy Webinar is great. Titch the Great, thank you so much for saying that. Like a virtual Starbucks. Ooh, I love that idea. I love coffee, so I think it's a perfect idea. So, very quickly, we are going to also be doing the heart contest continues on for this week. So obviously the hearts that are sent goes towards those who are going through the process of, making mention on the blog, going to the new podcast, rate and reviewing the podcast, and then of course sending hearts. So, but if you don't know about that, don't worry. I'm here for a specific reason. I want to talk to you guys today about two words that you probably know, and I want to talk to you about what moves you. So we know the words inspiration and desperation, right? You guys know those words, right? And chances are you've been in both boats. You've been in both scenarios before. But I want to challenge something. I want to challenge you guys with something. How different are these two? What do you think? How different are these two words? And what's motivated you before? Have you been inspired and have you been desperate? Put that in the chat. Go ahead and put yes, been both. Put both if you have. I want to win free subscription for easy one. Awesome, Candy. That's nice. That's great. If you have, put both. Okay, put both in the chat if you've been motivated by both. Here's the thing that I want to talk to you guys. And by the way, share this with your friends and followers, and be sure to follow me if you aren't following me yet. Okay. You guys can share this by clicking this little guy or swiping right on your iPhone and clicking share to Twitter, or swiping up on your Android and then sharing to Twitter that way as well. So please be sure to share this. We're going to be talking about a quick topic all about the differences between inspiration and desperation, and I want to challenge you with something. How different are these two? How different are these two words? How different is inspiration and desperation? Because if you think about it, just tweeted, thank you so much. If you think about this, here's the thing. They both kind of sound the same, don't they? Desperation, inspiration, they really sound the same word structure, right? They both motivate your daily routine. Daily, we create action around both of these two words. Either you do something out of inspiration or you do something out of desperation, correct? Daily. But here's what I want to challenge you with. Is desperation a bad thing? And can desperation lead to something good? What do you guys think? How can I email it out to my list? Well, what you do is you can swipe right and share with your friends and followers on Twitter or Periscope. If you're on an iPhone, if you're on Android, you can swipe up, and that will also allow you to do it. You can also click on this little guy and it will pull me up, where then you have those options. God inspired. Yeah. So here's something I want to talk to you about. Now, this concept of desperation, if we really break it down, you know, desperation can mean so many different things. I know, you know, as me starting off in the acting world, you know, I realized that, you know, when I was going off to auditions, oftentimes I was desperate to get the job, right? I want to get the job. And the problem with desperation is that people can read it on you, right? People can sense that you're desperate. That's always been the case when I was an actor. I was going into auditions. I didn't get the job because they could sense the desperation, right? Surround myself with positive people. Awesome, Candy. So if you think about this, you guys have to think about this concept of desperation. I want you to start changing your thought on the word desperation, the concept of desperation, and don't think of it as a bad thing. And here's why. Desperation, if you can find a reason for desperation and find kind of a positive spin on it, then it can work in your favor. A lot of us, we take desperation and we put it in this bad bottle, and we do things out of desperation, such as, you know, I'm going to lose my job in 3 weeks. I'm desperate to figure something out. Or I'm going to be in a position where, you know, I'm going to lose this house soon, so I'm desperate to find out an answer of how I'm going to save this house. Here's the thing. When I was starting off this business, you know, creating an online business, that's what I have right now. Here's what happened. I was forced to try to figure something out. I was desperate to try to figure something out. I was desperate for it. I needed to figure out a solution. So I was motivated by desperation. But at the same time, I was also motivated by inspiration, such as, where can I go in this process? I saw this possibility. And if you can take both desperation and inspiration and apply it to where desperation is fine in terms of, I need to get something done right away. I need to get this done because I am in a point where I need it. And then you can put a positive spin on it, such as, this is going to drive where I'm going to be going. I see the kind of the end game, you know, where, you know, my family, I have freedom of life. My family and I are, you know, we have time with the kids and things like that. If you start looking at desperation as not a bad thing, but use it almost from a kind of a positive sense, like I'm desperate, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak that desperation and I'm going to turn it into something different. So it's almost going to be like this motivational thing, right? Where I'm desperate. I'm not going to take no for an answer. I'm going to apply my hardest, but I'm also not going to leak desperation. As we already talked about, you know, desperation, sometimes when you are too desperate, what happens, people can sense it. It's all over you. They are repelled by it. But if your desperation comes from this point of, I need to succeed, right? Desperation comes from fear, knowing God has your back, surround yourself with godly people. That's right. So desperation does come from fear, and inspiration comes from hope. But here's the cool thing about this. I want you to think about this. When you're talking about your story, you combine both, don't you? If you're not talking about your fears and your desperation and your inspiration in your story, then you're not essentially connecting on all points with the people you're trying to motivate. So again, desperation is almost like a needed quality in what we're trying to do in our lives, but you just have to take that concept of desperation that you know is there, and you can say to yourself, well, desperation base is fear, right? Desperation means that that is almost like a negative thing. If you take that and tweak it to where desperation is more of a factor that is a motivator to getting what you want, and then putting a spin of inspiration on that, then desperation really isn't a bad thing if you think about it, right? Inspiration and desperation can be very similar. You don't have to fear or frustration you aren't growing. If you don't have fear or frustration, you aren't growing. It's really true. And a lot of us, you have to understand something. If you see someone doing something and you're like, oh, that person's really doing it. I want to do what that person's doing it. Maybe you're coming from an envious point of view. Maybe you're coming from I really want to do what that person's doing because I love their energy. And then you start doing something. Is that coming from desperation because you see them doing it, therefore you feel like you're doing it? It's the what is that? The don't want to be left out factor. What's that called? Now everybody's using it now, right? The fear of missing out, FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, exactly. So are you fear of missing out? Is that coming from desperation or inspiration, right? What is it? And I think it's always important for us to start looking at that concept of desperation in this totally different sense of I want to be motivated to do what that person's doing, but then put almost like a positive spin on it to be more inspiration based. So inspiration and desperation, they have the same sound, very similar sounds. They both create action in our lives. So I'm almost thinking, wouldn't it be cool to say now, if you have this moment of desperation, kind of take that and try to put a positive spin on it. Now, just so you guys know, I'm not like a soothsayer. I'm not like a motivational speaker or anything like that. I've maybe gone to one leadership training. I didn't even finish the leadership training, so I'm still planning on doing it later on. But the whole point is that we all can kind of go through these moments, and we all have them. Motivation, inspiration, we feel these things. And Tom Challen is inspiring, Grace Coper too. Awesome. And so I want you to start just thinking about this fact that motivation, inspiration and desperation, they both cause action. And if you use desperation to your advantage instead of repelling desperation, and just trying to look towards the inspiration, then you may not have the same motivation. Does that make sense? Oh my gosh, we're using so many evasions, right? I'm going to put my hat back on now. So think about that. Think about how you can take desperation and put a spin on it, okay? Because desperation is a great motivator, but the problem with it is that it wreaks a certain thing, obviously, of fear. So if you can create desperation, but put desperation and turn it into something that's more like, a motivator, such as I'm going to get these things done by this date, right? I'm desperate to get this done. Why am I desperate to get it done? Because I want to change my life. I want to change where I'm at in my life. I want to provide for my family, and I need to make these changes, right? If you start looking at it from that point of view, which we all do, you have to admit, you are motivated by desperation. You are. If you say you're not, it's not true. We all are. We all have that. But it's just a question of how to change that. Dig down deep, gather the desperation, and funnel that energy to your goals. Yeah, desperation is a need many times because people waited too long. Right. Now, so I want you to just think about that inspiration and desperation aren't really that different if you think about it. It's just a question of taking desperation and changing your concept of it, changing how it reeks off of you. So instead of it being out of fear, have it almost out of strength, a desperate strength. Okay? Let's change the word. Let's change the word completely to almost like a desperate strength where we need to do this. We're strong enough to get this done. Okay? I want you to start thinking about that, where you're taking desperation and you're changing it. Okay? Because it's almost more like desperation is just as motivating, if not more motivating than inspiration. So tweak the desperation to strength. Okay? strength of, we need to get this done because I'm desperate, because I don't want to lose my house, right? I need to get this done in 30 days or 45 days, because if I don't, I'm going to lose this house. So I'm going to go out of my way to work to getting that done. Now, that's what I did when I started off. I had no option. I was about to lose my house. I had to figure out a way to make money online. That's what I did, okay? And when you start working for yourself, those are two motivators that are just going to be pushing you consistently all the time. Inspiration and desperation, okay? And they're not bad. I want you to take out the bad out of that, because it's not about bad, it's not about good, it's not about evil. It's about taking the two and working them together so that you succeed, okay? So that's it. That was just a little daily dose. Hope that was helpful. I don't know if it was helpful. It was just something I was thinking about when I was walking. I like, thinking about, what motivates us, inspiration or desperation, which is the one that motivates you. And I was just thinking that, we're motivated by both. And to be able to take desperation and almost twist it on its head to be something more of strength, right? Take it and say, well, I'm going to be strong enough to create this action, okay, that is based around, I don't want to lose my house, but at the same time, it's like I'm going to be stronger than it, right? So it's almost like, getting on the back of, okay, here's a little analogy, okay? In Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, when the guy gets really super small and jumps on the back of a bee, right? The bee is not tamed at all, okay? But he gets on that bee, right, which is like completely untamed and all over the place, and he drives it to where he wants to be. So it's a dangerous creature that he's jumping on the back of, okay, this is a weird analogy, I know. But he jumps on the back of this crazy strong creature that he can't control, and he takes that creature and kind of pushes it towards his goal, right? Do you guys get what I'm saying? It's like jumping on the back of a creature that's kind of crazy, right? It's like it's like being able to tame a vampire or something like that. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I'm not high. I swear to God, it's just coffee and kombucha. That's all I'm drinking here. So anyway, think about that. If that makes any sense, I hope that was not too out there. But that's my daily dose for today. I'm going to now jump in, do some work. I'm going to be sharing with you guys while I set up a Facebook ad. If you guys want to see that, I'm going to be setting up a Facebook ad for David Siteman Garland. I'm going to be promoting him. I'm going to be setting up a Facebook ad to promote that webinar. And I'm also going to be working on my YouTube course today. Those are my 2 action steps. What are you working on today? I hope you can get it done. Inspiration is awesome. What do you do again? My name is Casey Zeman, guys. If you don't know what I do, I like that you're out there. Thank you so much. I'm the CEO, founder, I guess you'd say, of Easy Webinar. It's a software that does both live and automated webinars. We have over 5,000 customers. And I teach all about using the power of webinars, live video, to building your business and brand, okay? I love the top engagement strategies for creating a business and brand you absolutely love. I have a Facebook group called Tribeminded.com, Tribeminded.com. It's a Facebook group where we talk about these things. We have all type of business people in there. If you're an author, expert, thought leader, coach, or consultant, maybe you have a product or a service, whether you're a physical store owner, people come in there and we talk about how to build essentially your community and your tribe. So if you go into tribeminded.com, that's where we are. Okay, I just started this very recently. We have almost 700 people in there. We're building it up, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. So anyway, thank you so much. If you're not following me, you can do so here. I'm going to be doing another one, as I said, all about Facebook ads, so you guys can follow along as I set up a Facebook ad. I'll flip the screen here and you guys can see what I do, and it'll be fun stuff. I'll take a look. Thanks. All right, creative. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. You guys rock immensely. Are you Swedish or German? I'm neither one. I guess I have a Czechoslovakian heritage or a Czech Republic heritage, Jewish, and then my mom has Dutch. So I guess, almost Swedish, Dutch kind of comes into that. How can I have you speak at my live event October 16th through the 18th? Just reach out to me. You can send me a direct message on Twitter or find me on Facebook, Casey Zeman Online, and you can send me a direct message there as well. I'm going to be speaking at a couple events already in October. One is an event to 4,000 people for Amazing.com. I'm going to be speaking on this topic, Periscope and stuff like that. So if you guys are going to be in Vegas at that time, you should come on in. Do you speak Russian? I do not speak Russian. Nie говорю по-русски. That means I speak a little Russian, but I don't actually speak Russian. I just learned that. Okay, so пожалуйста. And спасибо, thank you for coming to this Periscope. I really appreciate it. That's all. I am learning Russian. Cool, good. That's great. That's great. That's all I can speak is не говорю по-русски. I think that's all I can say. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. See you in the next scope. Much love to you, and join me in tribeminded.com. Thanks again. See ya. Bye. Hold on. Moving.